Welcome back to Pachter Factor on SIFTD.net. A special welcome to our Patreon patrons, to our YouTube subscribers. You're keeping the show alive. Appreciate it. The rest of you, even the patrons, please link your Amazon Prime account to your Twitch Prime account. It's easy to do. There are instructions in the show description. You just have to try. So please try, because you're sticking it to Amazon. You have that subscription. You've already paid for it. Make them pay us. It's your money. They have it. Take it out of their pocket and give it to Shane, please. Okay, today's question from Patreon from Jerome Archambault. How is the stock price of a game publisher affected by the launch of a new game? That's a really good question. Do pre-launch reviews and player sentiment impact the stock price? How can a single game like Star Wars Outlaws impact the stock price of a company like Ubisoft? Does Grand Theft Auto have a bigger impact on this because the games are so infrequent? If a game has a game as a service component, will it goose the stock price even further? All right, that's an exceptionally intelligent question and a very complicated answer. Everything that impacts a share price is a function of expectations and whether the news that comes out is consistent with expectations or differs. So if we all expect Grand Theft Auto to be great, right? There's no way there's anybody who expects it to flop. Like nobody. And so Take-Two's share price reflects that Grand Theft Auto is coming sometime in 2025 and it's going to sell a gajillion units. If we got previews of it and people said it's the worst game of all time and I'm not playing it, and we changed our expectations that it would sell half as many units, Take-Two stock would go down. I'm giving you a really easy example of a game we know is going to be good. Star Wars Outlaws is one of those weird games that Ubisoft has never made a Star Wars game, I don't think, ever. And the setting is the Outlaws. It's not the Jedi Knights. It's not the Sith Lords, and it's not the Storm Imperial Troopers. It's outlaws who are running, rogue missions and smuggling and going from planet to planet, and it actually looks really fun. But it's not characters that you understand. And when I say that, Han Solo was an outlaw, like the original Star Wars guy was an outlaw. So the idea is everybody is like Jabba the Hutt, and if you're a real Star Wars geek, that's actually fun. But if you're a casual Star Wars fan, it's really confusing, and you expect to be Darth Vader or Darth Maul, and you don't get to be those guys. So the expectations are all over the place, right? And Star Wars games have sold anywhere from 5 to 15 million units, mostly because EA has made some really good ones and some really bad ones. And so you just don't know, right? So I don't know what expectations are for that. So I'm going to pretend I don't know and say if people expect it to sell in between 5 and 15, 10, they expect it to sell 10, and we get news that's consistent with it selling 10, Ubisoft stock won't move at all. If we get news that makes us feel like it's more likely to sell 5, Ubisoft stock will go down. If we get news that's consistent with it selling 15, Ubisoft stock will go up. And what we've seen over the last few weeks is all of the above. Early on, Ubisoft either released it or they leaked out. So somebody leaked out some video of the game, and it got panned. People said it looks bad. And Ubisoft stock, in fact, went down. And then Kotaku writes an article saying this game's really fun. We got hands-on for 3 hours or 2 hours or something, and it's really fun. And Ubisoft stock went up. So again, it's going to move based on whether the news is better or worse than what people expect, and people expect all sorts of weird things. So I had like a funny experience. EA came out with a new college football game. They haven't done, it's called college football. It used to be called NCAA football. They haven't done one since 2013, okay? I can confidently tell you that nobody who covers video games right now was covering it in 2013 except me, stock market analyst. None of the guys who covered the industry now was covering it in 13. And I remember NCAA because I started covering the industry in 2001, and it always sold about 2 million units, give or take 500,000 in the quarter that it launched, and another 1 million units the next quarter, kind of 3 million units a year, give or take 500,000. And so one of my nincompoop competitors put out a number. He expects 10 million units of sales this quarter. And EA stock ripped. And nobody corrected him. Then EA actually put out a press release saying they had 5 million active accounts the first week. And the stock didn't go up. Because that's probably in line with maybe selling 10 million units. But I was like pounding the table going, this is great. Oh my God, it should be 2. It's 5. Like, my God. You know, and it's because my competitor set expectations so high that people shrugged when they saw 5 million. So how is it really affected by the launch of a new game? If someone expects, let's just say the average Ubisoft game gets an 80 Metacritic score. If UB launches a game and it gets a 90 or a 95, no matter what the game, stock's going up. Because we're going to assume it's going to sell more units. And if they launch a game like Skull and Bones and it gets a 58, the stock's going to go down. And that, in fact, happened. So expectations are always going to be that they do about what we've always expected them to do. If they do a lot more, it goes up. If they do a lot less, it goes down. And so, yes, all game stocks are affected by the launch of a new game. Games that have a game as a service component can it goose the stock price further. I don't think that my thesis on Grand Theft Auto Online is widely held. So I don't think the market expects GTA Online to double the way I do. Now, again, I expect it because I expect Take-Two to do something that they haven't done before, which is introduce new territories and maps through GTA Online. And again, I could be wrong, but I think they're going to do that because I think they've planned to integrate. So if they do, will Take-Two stock keep going up? Yes, because I do not think it is widely expected that GTA Online will double revenue. Could GTA Online do 2 or 3 billion a year in revenue? Yeah, they really could. Monopoly Go does 3 million, so can GTA Online. So yes, if they made GTA Online free to play for everybody, yes, it would be 2 or 3 billion a year. I really think they have a property that's worth that much, and we'll just see how they implement it. If they implement it the way I suggested, stock's going to go up. But I don't know what they're going to do. So I have an outperform. I love Take-Two because I see the potential for them to do stuff like that. But, I mean, again, you didn't ask this question, but Roblox advertising, is it built into the share price? No, because people think it's a couple $100 million. I think it's a couple of $1 billion. Again, let's see how they implement it. They have 77 million people daily playing 2 hours daily. They have 140 million hours, 150 million hours a day. If they did one ad per hour at $10, they would make $1.5 million a day. They'd make 500 million more. If they do one ad an hour at $40, they make $2 billion a year. If they do 2 ads an hour at $40, they make $4 billion a year. How likely is that? Not. It's not likely. How possible is it? Very. So it depends on what they decide to do. Is it priced into the stock? No, because you know what? Of all the people who cover Roblox, one understands how advertising works. I can't give you stock advice here because I don't know. I'm saying the same thing here that I say in all my notes, that there's a potential for these guys to do a lot, but I don't know. And that's what makes the stock market so fun. We write down what we think. We make sure we say it correctly, and we do. I'm repeating it. Everything I've said is in a note from me to clients. So you got some free stock advice. You don't have to be a client of mine. Thanks for joining us on Pachter Factor on SIFTD.net. Appreciate your patronage from our Patreon fans and appreciate your subscription from our YouTube subscribers. All of those people, plus all the rest of you freeloaders, please try to remember to link your Amazon Prime account to your Twitch Prime account. Since you're a freeloader, it's free. So you get this show for free, and you get Amazon to pay us for free. Free is good. Okay. Okay, and it's not really free because somebody's got to pay. If it's too good to be true, it's not true. It's too good to be true because Amazon's paying us and you're sticking it to them and it's free. So look up the word freeloader because that's you, and it's free. I'm giving something free to a freeloader. That's nirvana. Thanks very much for joining us. I'll see you next time.